We have a question here on bearing and distance. We have that the bearing of B from A is 75 degrees. The bearing of C from A is 310 degrees. If A from B is 50 kilometers and A from C is 90 kilometers, calculate 1. The distance between B and C, and 2. The bearing of C from B. Now, we are going to represent this information in bearing diagram. We have our point A here, and this is point B. We are told that the bearing of B from A is 75 degrees. And we have our point C, which is here. The bearing of C from A is 310 degrees. Now, we are to calculate the distance of C from B, which is this distance here. Now, let's label here A. We are also to calculate the bearing of C from B, which is the angle from the north to this line that connects C to B. And we are given that the distance between A and B is 50 kilometers, while the distance between C and A is 90 kilometers. Now, to calculate the distance A, we are going to use the cosine formula. And to use cosine formula, we need the value of this angle here. Now, we already know that the angle from North Pole as given to this line is 310 degrees. So to calculate this angle, we are going to subtract 310 degrees from 360 degrees. And when we subtract 310 from 360, we have this place to be angle 50 degrees. So 50 plus 75 give us this angle, 75 plus 50 give us 125 degrees. Now that we have known this angle, we can now use the cosine formula to get A. And we have that A square is equal to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine theta. This is the cosine formula. So we have that A square equal to B is this line 90 that is opposite the angle B. So our B is 90. So we have 90 square plus C is the line opposite the angle C, which is 50. So we have 50 square minus 2 multiply 90 times 50 cosine the angle here, which is cosine 125. We have that A square equal to, if you add 90 square plus 50 square, it gives us 10,600 minus 2 times 90 times 50 gives us 9,000. Then cosine 125 is negative 0.5736. So here we have that A square equal to 10,600. If you multiply negative 9,000 by this, it gives us plus 5,162.19. Now we're going to remove the square, and we have A equal to the square root. When the square crosses, it changes to square root. This plus this gives us 15,762.19. And when you use calculator to press this square root, we have that A equal to 125.55 kilometers. And this represents the distance between B and C. So we have got this distance, which is 125.55. We have gotten A. Next is to calculate the bearing of C from B, which is the angle. The bearing of C from B is the angle measured from the North Pole down to this line that connects C to B. We know that from North Pole to South Pole is 180 degrees. We also know that this angle here is 75 degrees. How do we know that? Because this angle and this one, they are alternate angle. And since here is 75, it means here also is 75 degrees. So we will now calculate to get this angle here and add it to these other ones to get the bearing of C. from B. To determine this angle, let us call this angle B. We are going to use the sine formula, which says B over sine B, which is this length is B, over the sine of the angle B, equal to A over sine A, which is this length A over the sine of the angle opposite to the length. And we have that B is 90 all over sine B, equal to A is 125.55 from the calculation, all over sine A, which is sine 125. We have 90 over sine B equal to 125.55. Sine 125 is 0.8192. So we are going to cross multiply here, so that 125.55 multiplies sine B, and we have 125.55 sine B equal to, when you multiply this by 90, it gives us 73.728. If we divide both sides by 125.55, we have that sine B equal to 73.728 divided by 125.55, so that B is equal to arc sine, in brackets, when you divide this, it gives us 0.5872. And when you calculate this using your calculator, we have that B is equal to 35.96, which is approximately equal to 36 degrees. So we have got angle B here to be 36 degrees. We can now say, therefore, the bearing of C from B is equal to 36 degrees plus this angle 75 plus 180, which is plus 75 degrees plus 180, and this gives us 291 degrees. Thank you for watching.